So if you're visiting us over in Santa Ponsa this summer, you're going to know that this is one of the biggest and best holiday resorts in Mallorca. But can you get a local Mallorquin experience here in the resort? Yes, you can. And I'm down here on a Saturday morning. We're going to take a walk now through the resort down towards the weekly market, which is held every single Saturday from 8:30 on to around 1:30. I'm going to point out some key hotels on the way as well. We're then going to do a big loop right around the back of the resort. We're going to come back onto the beach and check that out too. So let's turn the camera around and I'll show you where we are in Santa Ponsa today. So we're starting this video on the very far end of Santa Ponsa beach. It's around 10:30 in the morning. It's looking quite empty at the moment. I'm sure it's going to fill up later. But let's head on in the direction of the market. Now, as you can see, I'm on the very far side of Santa Ponsa Resort. I'm just walking down Avenida Jaime Primero, and we're going to head on into the direction of the commercial area. And you know, visiting this market as well also means that you don't have to battle on the buses to have to get out of the resort and maybe go down the coast or go into Palma to go and experience a local market over here in Mallorca. You've got this happening right here on a Saturday morning, so let's keep heading down towards the roundabout. So I'm just looking back here, and the roundabout here right in the centre is ringed with cafes and restaurants as well. If you are coming in by bus, you might want to pick yourself up a very quick coffee and a croissant. But look, you're just coming up by one of the major bus stops here. And this is really a central public transport hub in the southwest of the island. You can get down to Andrach from here. You can head over to Palma to the airport, and also in the direction of Camp de Mar too. So it's a really, really good location, and it's a great place to come on a Saturday morning if you want to get that local market experience. I'm also coming up around the back of the taxi rank too, so once again, if you don't want to get the bus or you want to get a cab back, this is the pickup point here. Now, I will drop a Google Maps link below this video as well, just to show you where I started this video and the location of the market, because Santa Ponsa is absolutely huge. And it's not just a huge tourist resort, it's also a very big residential area as well. We're just coming up to another bus stop as well as we head on down Jaime Primero in the direction of the market, and I've just passed the bus stop which heads on into Palma. And I'm just looking back here. Anyway, let's turn the camera around, let's keep going. So you can see that Santa Ponsa is very, very slowly opening up for the day ahead. We're expecting a busy Saturday down here. Lots of residents out, lots of people coming in for the market too. And of course, if you are self-catering over here, then I really recommend going to go and pick up some fresh produce that you know has been grown on the island from the market. And already, the further we walk down into the direction of the market, the first thing I'm going to say is that, well, this is very much a residential, commercial area for many of the businesses over here in Santa Ponsa. This is more or less where the locals go in this area if they're going out to shop, or maybe they're going out to eat. Look, we've got Tapas y Mas just across the road. So there's a nice little selection of cafes down here too. I'm just now walking up past the huge Pirates Village Hotel. This is the themed hotel here, which lies right at the beginning, more or less, of Jaime Primero. And do you know what, as well, even if you're not staying here, you can actually get a day pass into the hotel. Check this out, this might be quite nice actually for small kids. Wherever you're staying on the island, you might want to come down here for the day. Just coming up past, I think, the dining area. I did walk into this hotel about a year ago actually. There's a video on the channel, I shall link it below if you want to check out the inside, the reception area, kind of towards where the pool is too. Now, the one thing I absolutely love about Santa Ponsa is that it's a very affordable resort as well. It hasn't become too gentrified like many of the smaller resorts have become around the island. And I can already see you've got a €5 offer on for breakfast. So this is the Misa. It looks like a really lovely traditional Mallorquin bakery, and it's busy. It's very, very busy. Right across the road here, look, we've got the Santa Ponsa pins Hotel, and we're heading on into the direction of the big Jurovský supermarket. Lots more shops and businesses and cafes across the road, but we're not going to look at those today. So we are approaching the roundabout right by the big Jurovský supermarket, which lies to my right. The market lies just down to the left, and you can see what I've done with my backpack here. If you haven't seen my video all about Pickpockets operating in Mallorca, go and watch that. But just make sure before you head on into any marketplace that you have your backpack in front of you where you can see absolutely everything. Everything's zipped up as well. Maybe put some zip locks on your bag too. So let's head on now down into the marketplace, and I suspect it's actually going to be quite busy, which is why you need to be holding your bag like this. Now that advice applies to just about every single market you're visiting over here in Mallorca this summer, especially the really busy Old Town markets too. They're going to be absolutely packed. We've seen a lot of people heading on into the direction of Santa Ponsa Market today. In fact, look at the traffic coming in. I'm down here a little bit on the early side. I suspect many people are just starting to arrive. You're also going to find many of these cafes and restaurants around the marketplace to be very busy too. Let's go and check out the market today. So immediately on my left-hand side, we are greeted by a huge line of market stalls. And just to give you a location check, we are on Carrer del Riu Sil. Let's see what we've got today in the market. Now, looking up and down through the market, I can see a few people on mobility scooters. So this is an accessible market, which is absolutely fantastic. It does run down the hill, but you can get an idea just by looking at this how busy it is. I can see more locals here than holidaymakers, which is why this makes a fantastic local experience. And look, if you're looking for souvenirs, or you're looking to try some local products, you've got everything here. Don't forget, currently and at time of filming, you cannot take meat or dairy products back to the UK. So if you are buying any of these, make sure you eat them while you're out on holiday. But look at the lovely fresh fruit and vegetables that we have here. And well, cherries are in season at the moment. We've got some lovely fresh strawberries. We also have these squash peaches as well. They're called Paraguayas. They're absolutely delicious as well, very, very sweet and fragrant. And look, just to give you an idea, look, you've got traditional Mallorquin apricots as well. And melons are just starting to roll into season too. Of course, this would not be a Mallorca if you didn't get your blue tomatoes, your tomate azul from Mallorca. Pick yourself up a few of those. Absolutely delicious. On the other side here, look, we've got a lovely little bakery stall here with all delights here from Mallorca. Absolutely delicious. We've got empanadas. We've also got a coca de trampo. Look, €2.90, absolute bargain. Pick one of these up for your lunch. Fill you up before you get towards dinner. Anyway, let's keep walking along. So a market would not be a market either without the olive stall. And just the many, many different varieties of olives that we get over here. Look at this, they look absolutely fantastic. These are my favourite, these olives here that have been marinated, a little bit of pepper and a little bit of garlic. We also have the marinated chilies and olives too. Really, really yummy. And normally as well, they let you try a few before you actually buy them. So if you are looking for souvenirs to take home, particularly if you're going to the United Kingdom, look, you get some really premium olive oil here. And this is, once again, all locally made. And wine as well, don't forget the vino. Got also some lovely locally made wine as well. Look at this, €3 for a bottle. Whether you're staying in a hotel or you're staying at self-catering, grab yourself a couple of bottles of those to enjoy. So you can see that this market isn't particularly huge, it's very, very small and local. And like I said, we've got plenty of local residents here out shopping today, which is also why we have the clothes rails as well. And look, this is why it's a local market. It wouldn't be a local market if you couldn't pick up your pants and your boxer shorts. Don't forget, many of the local residents here won't go into Palma shopping, so they'll use these stalls to come and pick up their underwear and their socks. you might want to as well. Or you need to get some extra clothing, you can get it very cheaply down here in the market. Look, more fruit and veg stalls here too. Now I could stop and shop here, I could actually just get my weekly fruit and veg from over here. I just don't have time today, unfortunately. It's another recommendation of mine, look, pick yourself up one of these jamon serrano packs. Get yourself a loaf of bread from the bakery stall where we started the market walk, and that's your lunch. Maybe grab a couple of tomatoes as well. And here's one for the kids as well. Look, got a lovely little jewellery stall here. I've seen these guys out and about in other areas of the island too, and you will find actually that a lot of their market stalls will appear in other marketplaces around the island too. Gosh, look at this bougainvillea. I could get some of this for my terrace. I actually bought a bougainvillea plant from Lidl the other day and it's already looking like it's on its way out. Got no idea how to care for stuff like this. It has to be very, very evergreen, but look. This is for us residents here. They've got an absolutely lovely flower market here. Absolutely beautiful. But look, that's not all, because the market does extend around to my right hand side. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was. And look, just looking behind me as well, look, you can even get your traditional baskets here, your traditional Mallorquin baskets. Let's take a little walk up through. Look, check this out, look at this, I call this portable air conditioning for the hot summer months. Got a great wooden fan stall. I absolutely 100% recommend getting one of these, and the wooden ones a little bit harder wearing as well. They last a lot longer and they do have a much nicer flow of air. Always keep one in my handbag in the summer. And this looks really lovely. Also, look, we've got a great hat stall here as well, absolutely essential too. If you're over here and you haven't bought your hat. And that brings us more or less to the end of Santa Ponsa Market. Now we're going to keep going, we're going to walk back up through and we're going to head on back to the beach. I'm going to point out a few other hotels on the way. Okay, so I'm going to take a right here. We're going to just step out of the marketplace. I've got to say that's a very relaxed market experience over here in Santa Ponsa. Just got the noise of a TUI bus moving away, but right outside of the market here, look, you've got some lovely little cafes as well. These are very local cafes. So I'm walking along the Gran Via Puig de Tejo road, and in the direction of a very large hotel I can see right up in front of me. Just a couple of minutes walk away. As we come up to the crossroads here, I can see a brand new restaurant for 2025. This used to be the Maison del Rey, and it used to be a Mallorquin restaurant. It's now a sushi restaurant. Goodness, what a change! And it's a buffet restaurant as well. Buffet libre. All you can eat basically, and here are the prices for 2025. A little bit of a shame actually, I have to say. It's always nice to find some local food over here to try, but it seems that Asian food is on the rise. And look, it's right next to another sushi restaurant right next door too. So I am going to be back here in Santa Ponsa to check out food prices for this year as well. I'm also going to make some content about where you can get some local food over here as well. Just seeing the Maison del Rey has now closed and the sushi restaurant has popped up. There are going to be other places in the resort where you can get some traditional Mallorquin food, not just talking Spanish food, but Mallorquin food. Anyway, subscribe to the channel to catch those videos. But in the meantime, we're coming up past the Globales Pirineo Hotel, and this is going to bring us right up to another huge hotel a little bit further along. Keep watching. On my left hand side we're coming up by the Globales Playa Santa Ponsa Hotel, and across the way here we have got the Globales Santa Ponsa Park Hotel too. But most strikingly we've got the HM Isabella Hotel. If you want to hear what some holidaymakers had to say about their stay last summer in this hotel, I'll drop a link to that video in the description text below. Also got some other cafes as well to my right hand side. You can just see the pine trees here. We're heading back to the Pine Tree Park right on the seafront. So just to give you a very quick location check here, all the very popular bars are right up ahead of me here. Go back and check out my previous content. I will be making a nightlife video from over here in Santa Ponsa soon. But as we turn the corner here onto what I call the Santa Ponsa Pine Walk, we're coming down to the absolutely stunning beach. If you may remember my last video over here, you'll know that they just started putting out the sunbeds and the beach umbrellas. I can see that the accessibility area as well has been put out. Hasn't actually got any shade on it at the moment, I can see. Hopefully that will be put on. But they do have all the accessibility, walking sticks and the amphibious wheelchair and everything else you need. Let's hope that becomes a shaded area as we head on into the summer. So we have highs today of around 23 degrees. I'm filming this in mid-May. It is a Saturday, so the beach is going to look very busy with residents down here. We can already see got plenty of kids, local kids, and residents and holiday makers too. Just looking back, you can see just how busy it is this morning. It's not even 11 o'clock. So the last time I was over here filming, this beach bar, this little chiringuito, was not open. It has now opened for the summer season, and a whole influx of sunbeds and beach umbrellas have arrived. The barley beds are in the process of being set up too. Okay, so that is a fantastic local experience that you can have over here in Mallorca, and that market is open, as I said, from 8:30 in the morning until 1:30 every single Saturday morning. So get down there, pick up your fruit and veg, pick up your lunch as well, and go and get yourself some souvenirs and support those businesses. Okay everyone, thank you very much for watching. Appearing both here and here on YouTube, you're going to find a couple of videos from this area to help you out with your holiday. Don't forget, you can also find me in the Facebook group and on my Instagram, also called Mallorca Under the Sun, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.